Jai Baba. Today, I wish to speak on obedience. Obedience as taught to us by Baba. Baba has told us that there are 4 kinds of obedience. That of a soldier willing to lay down his life for his country, paid obedience as that of a servant, compulsory obedience as that of a slave, and obedience of love, the disciple being glad to do the will and wish of the beloved. This obedience of love, Baba has again explained as follows: literal obedience, discriminating obedience, grudging obedience, and obedience with pleasure. As Baba lovers, we are interested in obedience with pleasure, which seeks the will and wish of the beloved and wants to make him happy at all cost. So that is what I am going to speak on today. How we can give this obedience to Baba and win his love for us. Baba is the personification of love. And there comes a time in our life when we want to be worthy of his love and to serve and surrender to him joyously. How can one do that? How can one express one's love, one's gratitude, one's heart to the beloved? The all-knowing says, when love draws you to me, don't ask for anything. Ask and you lose. Love has no questions and hence expects no answer. Love itself is the answer to all questions. The more you love me, the less you question. And there is no scope. The more you love me, the less you question. Love is eager to respond to the slightest wish of the beloved, and there is no scope for why and wherefore while obeying the master. For Baba says, higher than love is obedience, which seeks the pleasure of the beloved. Love is a gift from the beloved, but obedience is an offering of the lover to the beloved. And because of that, the lover accepts any hardships and sacrifice. Obedience is the surrenderance of love to love, in which the wish of the beloved becomes the happiness of the lover. So with Baba, obedience was and is still very important. And for those who really wish to obey Baba, who really want to seek his pleasure and his will, our watchword should be alertness and watchfulness. Otherwise, in spite of our determination to obey Baba, one is bound to slip. This is true Not only now, and it was true also when Baba was there. And it is true even now, more so now. Just because Baba has dropped his body, it doesn't mean that Baba is no longer with us. How can the eternal ancient one be ever lost by dropping his body? He is here. He is with us, closer than our own breath. It is for us to tune in on him and feel his guidance. And if you sincerely wish to seek his pleasure, he's bound to respond. He's bound to show you the way. It happened to me once because I was not alert. I was not watchful. We were in Guru Prasad and the room was packed. After a little while, Baba said, I want all the ladies to leave. But before they leave, I want them to kiss me and leave. The first lady got up. She kissed Baba on both the cheeks, and then she bowed down to him. This was an addition. This was not what Baba had said. The second lady got up. She kissed Baba and bowed down. I was watching. I was watching very minutely. The third one got up, did the same, the fourth one, and so on. It went on and on, till where I was watching silently, I myself got confused. Had I heard correctly? Well, the right thing for me to have done was to have either asked Baba or to have just kissed him on the cheeks, because that is how I heard him expressing his wish. And if his wish is my command, that is exactly what I should have done. I was almost one of the last ones, and when I got up, I kissed Baba on the cheeks. And then, like a fool, nay, I should say, a fool can be excused because he is a fool. But I had no excuse. It was because my love was wanting, that like a fool, I bowed down to him. As I lifted my head, how it happened to this day I don't know, but my head hit his knee with such an impact, and the knee and the leg, which had the hip joint fracture. I could feel Baba's silent groan going through his body. I could feel his suffering. I looked up confused, and I found that the beloved was looking down at me with eyes of compassion. I was so dazed. Like a crazed person, I just left the room. I didn't know what to do. I just kept on walking. In whatever direction I went, I don't know. But I just kept on walking. And all the while in my mind was, what have I done? I who would lay down my very life for the beloved, to cause him such suffering, to cause him such pain? When, with a bell-like clarity, a deep voice inside me said, you see what happens when you don't obey me? More suffering falls on me. That I tell you every time. Obey me above everything else. The voice was so clear, so crystal clear, that in spite of the mental agony through which I was going, I could hear it. Verily, Baba has said, I am the voice that eternally speaks deep within each heart. Dear family, that is what I would like to say. Be alert, be watchful. If you sincerely want to obey Baba, to seek his pleasure, and if at times in life there comes a situation where one just doesn't know what to do and still one wants to please Baba, don't be hasty. Implore him silently for his guidance. He is the Lord. If you sincerely implore him, he is bound to give you your guidance. He is bound to give you your direction. And the more you try to tune in on him, the more you rely on him. The more you rely on him, the more he shows you the way and the more you obey him. And the more you obey him, the closer you come to him. In my life with Baba, I have found that there were times also when I have slipped just because of ignorance or just because of arrogance. But whatever may be the cause, it means that our love is lacking. And sometimes just a glance of displeasure from the beloved, and you vow that no matter what happens, even if the heavens open up, you will not do it again. And sometimes, in spite of his universal burden, in spite of his universal work, he would find time to bring your transgression home to you. For, says Baba, I'm constantly eyeing your obedience to me, because it is futile to have love from the whole world in the absence of the required love from you. And that was once how, Nick, Baba brought this home to us. How important obedience was for him, more than our love. It was the Savas of 1958. And we had been told that Baba wanted all the Savasis to leave Meherabad on the 26th of February. And a special train, though Meherabad is not a railway station, a special train, arrangements had been made for a special train which would stop at Meherabad to take all the Savasis back. And yesterday in the film you saw this scene where the train was full of his lovers, and how at the last minute somebody shouted, Baba is coming down the hill, and we all rushed to the window. And there was the beloved waving back to us and telling us to take him with us. So that is the period that I'm talking about. So we had been told that we should leave on the 26th of February. Well, I sent word with Airaj. Tell Baba, 27th February is my birthday. And on my birthday, I would like to be with Baba and to have his darshan and then leave. The call came. Adi and Rhoda wanted by Baba. Baba was relaxing in the small hut after the morning session. The minute we entered, we could see Baba's eyes flashing. Baba was angry. And Baba said, "What is this I hear? You want to leave on the 26th and not on the, yes, on the you want to leave on the 27th and not on the 26th? I said, "Baba, it's my birthday on the 27th, and I would like to have your darshan." And so Baba said, in spite of my telling you that you have to leave on the 26th, he said, and he made a gesture like this, and he said, "If anybody from there had done it, I would not have taken the time out to bring it home to them. But because," and then he said in Gujarati, "Je tame ekaj gherna thao." Literally translated, it means that because you belong to my own household, I am taking time off to tell you that it is my wish that you should leave on the 26th. I said, "Baba, you tell it and we'll do it." Baba said, "I want you to leave on the 26th. "All right, Baba, we will do it." Immediately his eyes were full of love and compassion, and he opened out his arms to us, his erring children, and enfolded us, and then asked us to bow down to him and leave. So from the beginning, Baba wanted us to know that obedience is above everything, is above love. That is the offering that we can give to the beloved. From time to time, of course, in our lives, we got circulars from Baba, specific orders, not only for us, it was all over for all his lovers all over the world. And as once I mentioned, there was a time when he wanted us to keep silence, fast, and other things for one whole month. There was a time when a circular came that husband and wife should remain as brothers and sisters for 3 months. In his masterly way, from 3 months, he extended it to 6 months. From 6 months, I think it went to 9 months or a year. And there was a time when fasting, orders for fasting was also given. Sometimes just for 24 hours, but once it was that it came that men should fast for 21 days and women for 5 days. Of course, we did it with pleasure. But this fasting, when I come to this fasting, I'm reminded of the incident. I have already said it, but there are so many others that have not heard it, and I would like to repeat it. Because another ingredient that is necessary, if you really want and sincerely want to obey Baba, is honesty. Honesty in your dealings with God. The slightest hypocrisy, and you go far from God. We can fool the world, but we cannot fool God. And this incident, I think I must tell you, that when we had this 5 days fast, and it was not compulsory. Baba never made anything compulsory, but he showed his wish, and it was for you to obey or not to obey. He left it to us. And he also said that you can fast for 5 days, you can fast for 1 day. It didn't matter, but that was his wish. So 5 days. So I said, I will fast for 5 days. It is his wish. And Baba, of course, had given some specific orders, instructions that liquid should be taken and so on. So the first day went, the second day went, the third day. I'm a teacher of the English language, and I teach English to foreigners. And normally, I go to the consulate and teach there. So on this particular day, one of my students put before me a tray of small cakes that she had made. It was just 2 days after Christmas, and the cakes she had made. They were delicious. It made your mouth water. Not knowing that I was fasting, she put the tray before me, and she left the room, said, Mrs. Dubash, I have just 1 or 2 minutes work, and I will be coming. And I kept on looking at the tray of cakes. It was so tempting. And then I said to myself, oh, it is delicious. I must have a cake. Who will know? Who will know that I have eaten this cake? There's nobody. Nobody will witness this act. And I can then say, oh, I fasted for 5 days. I stretched out my hand. Literally, I stretched out my hand. It went to the cake. And then the hand came back again. Whom am I trying to fool? Whom am I trying to fool? God Almighty? And that minute passed and finished. The temptation, the self-love, the weakness, whatever you may call it, because I feel that I felt Baba's presence so deeply. And the thing is that you want to please him, you want to obey him. And to show that it had a Baba touch, I must tell you that exactly 1 year later, the same student, the same Christmas time, she again put a tray of cakes before me. Said, Mrs. Dubash, try it. And this time I wasn't fasting. So you can imagine that I just literally, I took that cake. Believe you me, the first bite that I had, and it was the worst cake possible, that I had ever put in my mouth. Yes. Honesty with Baba is an essential ingredient. Love him honestly, and he will help you. So I just told you that at times we were given these specific orders. But with Baba, when you come to know him, with our life with Baba, we soon came to know that even if he asked us to sing a song or to tell a joke or to speak in Marathi or any such thing, became his wish, and it was a pleasure to respond to it. I remember Baba asked me suddenly. No, it was that we were sitting with Baba, and Baba asked somebody, is it possible that you can come? Is it possible that you can come to Meherabad in September? And that man said, "Sorry, Baba, I don't think it is possible," or something to this effect. And the thought immediately came into my head, why doesn't Baba ask somebody who is willing to come, meaning me? Immediately, Baba turned to me and said, "What are you thinking?" And I couldn't speak out my thought. I just couldn't speak out my thought. Why? And what was I thinking? I told you, it was just simply this, but I couldn't speak out my thought. Because the minute Baba asked me, "What are you thinking?" a stab of fear went through me. What if Baba asks me and I don't get leave from my teaching job? And so I just kept quiet. The compassionate one gave me another chance. I still kept quiet. I, who had written such long, long letters to him, that your wish is my command and I will do this and I will do that, I wasn't honest enough. I didn't have the courage enough to open my heart out to him and leave the results to him. Baba says, never hesitate to show the recesses of your heart to one whom you consider your spiritual master. And this is true again for all times. It was true then, and it is true now. Never hesitate to show the inner recesses of your heart to Baba. Whether it is filled with greed or lust or anger or dishonesty. Be honest. Be courageous. And if you silently ask him for his guidance, opening your heart out to him, you will allow him to pour the balm of his divine love on you. And that will purify us, purify me, you, everybody. And at the same time, it will help us to come closer to him. Because this is a game of coming closer and closer and closer to Baba. Who is, I don't know, personally, I'm not interested in God realization. It is something far away. I want to love Baba, I want to obey Baba. And if in the next Advent, he will bring me down with him, that is my greatest pleasure. And so this is how we are coming closer to him, so that in the next Advent, we can be one of his very dear ones. And he will give us the time, the chance, the opportunity to serve him. And a funny incident comes to me. Of course, this is a personal incident, but it brings out so much of Baba's humor, Baba's working on you, and at the same time, how at every step he wanted us to feel that whatever he said should be our pleasure. There was a time when Baba was needling me all the time. He said, "What kind of a wife has Adi got? That she goes for lunch every time and then is waiting for my call at lunchtime to come and eat lunch with me again. Or sometimes he would say to others, "Have you ever seen Rhoda eat? You know, you just give her a slice of mango, and by the time she finishes it, we have already finished our lunch, we have already retired and passed asleep, and she's still eating that slice of mango." And he kept on needling me. And one day, as usual, he called me in for lunch. And then he told, I don't remember, one of the monthly ladies, to put one slice of mango for me. And then he says, put a very big seed of you have seen mango, and mango has that big seed full of pulp. And says, put that big seed also on the plate. Then he looked at the plate and he says, no. Now let's give her one more slice of mango. And then Baba said, I want you to finish this, 2 slices and 1 seed of mango in 5 minutes. He says, now you sit at the head of the table, the tail of the table, you sit there, and we are going to watch you eating it. And you have to finish it in 5 minutes. So I started eating. And Baba started asking me questions. And, well, I would eat and answer him. When suddenly, Baba looked at the clock and said, now only 4 minutes, he made a gesture like this, only 4 minutes left. Suddenly, the gravity of the situation came to me. That this is his wish, his order. And I started gulping the mango, and Baba would ask me questions, and now I would answer like this or like this. And Baba said 3. I still kept on. I finished the seed and started the slices. Baba said 2 minutes. 1 minute. When Baba said 1 minute, the 2 slices of mango that were left on the plate, I just took them, skin and everything, and just put them in my mouth. My mouth was like a big balloon. And when that minute was over, Baba clapped. And then he said, now go and wash your hands. And now he knew. He says, now go out, go to the other room and finish what you have in your mouth. And I will tell you that it took me half an hour, literally half an hour, to finish what I had in my mouth. And by the time I finished it, I was literally exhausted, literally like this. But Baba had given me a memory, a beautiful memory, every time when I pick up a mango. I eat and I remember Baba. The wonderful days, the wonderful discipline that he gave us. And so now we come to the present phase of Baba. Baba is no longer in the physical. Then where are his orders? Where and how does obedience come in now? Baba says, love does not require the presence of the beloved in order to love. Love does not require the presence of the beloved in order to love. So obedience does not require the presence of the beloved in order to obey. Even though Baba has dropped his body, he is still giving orders. It is for us to realize them. For Baba during his lifetime has shown his likes and his dislikes. He has shown his wish for his beloved, for his lovers. And these should be our guideline for every true lover of Baba, knowing that in doing so, we are obeying Baba. Let us take just for instance, Baba said emphatically, no drugs. Not only no drugs, but he showed his great dislike. He showed it so emphatically that he said that if your friends insist upon taking drugs, in spite of your telling them not to, then don't have anything to do with your friends. Still insist on taking drugs. The order is so clear, so crystal clear. Can't we obey Baba in this? Can we not sacrifice this much for his love? Can we not give up self-love for his love? And Baba has shown so many other things that he didn't want his lovers to do. Sex, not to indulge in sex. Marriage, he said the sanctity of marriage, when two people are united in love, their love for one another brings them closer to me. Because as in yesterday's Adi's talk, he has told you, so much of self-love gives way to real love in ordinary life. Be happy. Baba has said, be happy. No matter what happens, no matter if the heavens fall, no matter what calamity, what trouble you are in, trust me and be happy. Resign to my will. These are his orders. It is for us to look to them, to obey them in every walk of our life, every minute of our life, and to be conscious of him, to be alert, to be watchful, and to be honest. And if at times we falter, but if our face is turned towards the sun, towards our beloved Baba, he stretches out his hands and makes us rise again, saying, to err is human, to forgive divine. Come, Put your hand in mine. I am the way. Surely then the victory is ours. For Baba has said, Baba has told us, I say it in all sincerity, unquestioning obedience to me, without consciously knowing me, will bring you nearest to me. Jai Baba.